Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my live. It's actually my first live on this page, and I just want to use this particular live opportunity to read from the collection of my poem, the collection entitled Afro Rococo. I just want to read some poems. So if you are interested and you want to listen to what I have to read, then you might want to stay till 3:30, which is when I will start the reading. I've selected some of the poems that I want to read, and I hope you have questions when I read them. I'll be willing to answer. Or if you have any questions about my works, the ones you know, the ones you've read, you could definitely ask. But for today, I just want to read from Afro Rococo, my 2022 poetry publication. So between now and 3:30, we'll listen to this particular song because I think that it resonates with the times, what we are actually going on at the moment, and because it calls on the people at the hem of our face to really sit up and think about how to get us out of what we are going through at the moment. And I also hope that because poetry is sung, I think the issues that I will raise in my poems will also resonate with the themes of the song, or with the thematics of the song. So let me know your views. If you have any comments, you can leave them and I'll definitely respond. So if you're wondering at the song, the singer is Peter Eyoh. I hope you know him. And I'm playing the song from YouTube directly, and it was posted 9 years ago. It might date far back more than that. But you see, the thing about music is that, especially the very good ones, is that they usually are timeless. The songs are timeless. The messages they send across keep reverberating across time. So if you are listening to the song at this moment, you could understand that it speaks to us about the things that are happening around us at the moment, the suffering that Nigerians are going through because of certain policies that probably have good intentions behind them, but were not well planned and well executed. And because it is election time, the song is also very important because it asks everyone to think again in the choice of leaders that they're going to make in a few days. And that's just about it. And I'm proud of the song because it's an epic song. You could also call it an ambiguous song, and it is sung in the language that our indigenous language, and it sends across a powerful message about our experiences at the moment. And it charges us to think again, or sit up and think about how we are going to solve the problems that we are in as Nigerians. And I think that is actually the right time to play this kind of song. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to start reading my poems. Let me just play this song probably for the last time before I do that. Again, if you have any questions, you could just drop them in the comments and I could answer as I go on. Once again, welcome to my live. I've seen some people, Daniel Young, Juliana Judith Moses. Welcome to my live. Patricia Imo Bennett, and there was Peace Williams. Thank you for coming around. Just a moment and I'll read the poems. Thank you very much. It is time for me to start reading the poems. And this is the collection that I'm talking about, Afro Rococo. It was published in 2022. And it contains what I might call special kind of poetry, because most of the poems are very short and straight to the point. And it is my way of formalizing what I call Afro Rococo, the Rococo of Africa. I've selected some poems that I would like to read from this collection, and I'll just talk about the poems and then read them. For instance, the first poem I'm going to read is entitled We Go There to Die. We Go There to Die. This poem was informed by the migratory issues in Africa, in Nigeria, the tendency for everybody to want to leave the country and travel abroad for greener pastures, for better living. And you could also see that the reason why people want to leave is because they do not have favorable economic conditions back home to work with or to operate with. And so in the poem I raised some of the issues that I think are germane to this cultural movement over time. So we go there to die. In this journey towards the glittering west, where your destiny fits with the setting sun, the willing slave has no certainty. In this voyage towards Lampedusa, where the devouring ocean awaits leaderless praise, the happy slaves are full of prospects, mirages from broken dreams. First, they kill your identity and then turn you into cultural outcasts, two-headed masquerades, one white, the other black, two mouths, two tongues, two hearts, and two minds. Fed with Western snacks, your poetic vision turns snacky, I bet sneaky. You chime for the imperialist and head it home as an African song. In return for a few dollar crumbs, you mortgage the treasures of the continent. In return for ephemeral fame, you surrender the dreams of the black race. What's your excuse, sis? What's your excuse, bro? The dark dictator chased me across the Atlantic into becoming an ideological refugee and a multicultural mulatto, and climbed so whitish and brutish. And when you have exhaustively been used, a racist bullet dumps you into the grave of historical oblivion. So that is the point. We go there to die. Of course, the death is metaphoric, but sometimes it could be literal. Listen to the song for some moments, and then we take the second point. The second point that I want to read is entitled "The Corn Eaters." The poem was informed by the tendency for politicians to want to look like the poor people during election time so that they could get the votes of the masses. This is part of the tricks that we experience every time election is close by. This is another election time, I suppose. And there will be politicians who want to make the masses believe that they too are poor people, and they understand the suffering and the conditions of the masses, just to gain their confidence and trust. The corn eaters. Another corn eating season is here, birthing corn men and their gunmen, the proverbial political corn eaters, playing politics with eating corns that they didn't plant, corns that they didn't budget for, pauper women's corns, sown with tears and toil, sown with hunger and thirst, sown without agri loans, subsidies and grants, sown without constituency funds and support, corns that cannot grow in mansions and estates, corns that can't germinate on tiled lawns and gardens, corns that cannot withstand the freezing climates of estate, mansion, and cool rooms. Part-time crumb eaters. They eat corns once in 4 years to trick the masses into believing that they too are the poor. They too are the needy, needing votes, not food, but vote food. For they and their offspring snack on corned beef the rest of the year. Well-known political comedians eating corn by the roadside to the applause of the cameras and the camaraderie of the gullible electorate, the gamma lizards who clap and nod yes to every utter deception. Professional tricksters making a circus show of corn festival. Alright, so if you're joining me at this time, this is my first live on this page, on this particular page, and I'm using it to share some of my poems with you. Justin Ekeroke, thank you for watching, thank you for coming. Precious Promise Ukbong, thank you for watching. You could leave a comment or question and I'll answer. The next poem that I'm going to read is The Crow Reaper. Actually, the poem does not have a title, but I think we can take the first line as its title. From the title you could see it already suggests that it's about death, and this poem was written when we lost Mr. Imafidon in UI. He was a very kind, very generous individual. He was a worker, one of the staff at the Department of English, University of Ibadan, one of the non-teaching staff. He was very helpful to postgraduate students, could help you process your documents to the PG school and all of that. I think he was really missed when he passed on, God rest his soul. And I felt his demise in a certain way, in a very deep way, and I was inspired to write the poem. I think we should live our life by being of help to others, because that is how we are going to be remembered at the end of the day, through service, serving the community, serving the people around us, which is exactly what Mr. Mafidan did. He was, I think, one of the casualties of the COVID-19 moment, and writing this poem immortalizes him, and each time this poem is read, his memory will be remembered. And so, Sir Mr. Ima Fidan, may your soul rest in perfect peace. The Crow Reaper. The Crow Reaper plucks the best and spares the worst. The Crow Reaper picks the unripe and venerates the rotten ripe. The Crow Reaper lacks judgment in his selection process. The Crow Reaper brings tears to the eyes of young, innocent children. One day they see their father and breadwinner. The next day he's gone beyond the existential cliff, never to be seen again throughout this side of life. But the bad reaper's victory over Victor is temporary and vain, because a Christian soul defies death and the resurrection dawn. So, farewell, Ogavik. It wouldn't be long now until the trumpet gathers the best in the skies. The next poem that I would like to read is entitled The Fisherman's Song. Most of these poems have been posted on the social media at some point before being published. And The Fisherman's Song is one of those poems. It's also on my website. But of course, reading a poem is performance, so it's completely different from just having it published in any medium. The fisherman paddles against the wind. The canoe moves against the tide. The fisherman paddles in vain. The fisherman throws his net into a polluted sea. The fisherman waits for hours for the fish. The fisherman waits in vain. The fisherman draws in an empty net. The fisherman draws in an oily net. The fisherman draws in a dirty net. The fisherman draws in a broken net. The fisherman sighs in despair. The fisherman paddles an empty boat. The fisherman rows home in tears. The fisherman rows home in pain. The fisherman rows in chain. The fisherman rows without gain. The fisherman paddles in disappointment. The fisherman paddles against the wind. The canoe moves against the tide. The fisherman paddles against fate. The seabird calls overhead. The seabirds call overhead. The fisherman looks up to the sky. The seabird mocks overhead. The sky gods laugh overhead. The fisherman bows his head in shame. The fisherman paddles to the shore. The fisherman paddles home in shock. The fisherman meets Mr. Jandam. Mr. Jandam demands a costly tax. The fisherman presents his empty net. The Jandam laughs at the empty net. The Jandam slaps the fisherman. The fisherman raises his hand in attack. The Jandam cocks his gun in disdain. The fisherman bears his pain in shame. The earth gods laugh with impunity. The fisherman gets home in shock. The fisherman meets his hungry kids. The fisherman sees his angry wife. The fisherman collapses from exhaustion. The fisherwoman lashes out at the man. The fisherman snaps in frustration. The fisherman strikes out at the woman. The house burns from the conflagration. The gods watch from a distance. The gods laugh in merriment. The gods laugh from a distance. Thank you very much. Rosemary Nwa, welcome to my life. Thank you for coming around. The next poem I'm going to read is titleless as well. I think we can go with the first line as the title, and hunger walks. That should be the title, going by the first line of the poem. It's not usually compulsory that all poems should have titles. Okay. And hunger walks the land, and like a ghost it haunts those who make themselves carpets for the ungodly gods to trample upon. The next poem I would like to read is Of What Use. The title is Of What Use. Of what use are words to ears attuned to not listening? Of what use are pleas to hearts blocked with satanic stones? Of what use are these distressing cries and grotesque pictures to eyes darkened by wickedness? Of what use is peace to the soldier of fortune who deceived his way to the throne? Of what use are these children's tears to minds slippery like the Tabon creeks in the heat of the rainy season? Of what use is learning to the short-sighted Lilliputian in a gamma lizard guards? Of what use is truth to the tongue baptized in rivers of lies? Of what use is royalty to thugs in Brutus and brutish suits? Of what use is the pen to the strong man of power who lives by the sword? Of what use is the knowledge? Of what use is knowledge to the man who profits from the people's ignorance? Of what use is a poem to the unpoetic soul who cannot decode the cryptic handwriting, the mosaic muse? Of what use? Of what use? Of what use? Okay, so this poem is the next poem I'm going to read is a poem of appreciation. I read the poem after my Viva at the University of Ibadan, just to appreciate everyone who contributed to the success of my education up to that point. It's always good to show appreciation for every little thing that we have or receive from people. And I think that even writing it down like this, whenever I read it, I remember what each of these persons did for me. But of course it is wrapped in poetry, so you might not really understand. You might understand, but you might not also understand at the same time. It depends on your poetic awareness. Okay, so but just see it as a form of appreciation for everyone I think contributed immensely to my educational success. It has no title as well. I think you can just say it's entitled "My Viva Was a Success." My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. This is a journey to appreciate the guardians of the imperial gates who let me in. There is a bard who sings on the sacred Obudu hills. His hill songs a symphony to the human heart. And there is the young eagle who lives across the Bekwang River, the poetic mind ministering to those who are below the rubble, calling them to salvation from the coming torrents of terror. My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. When I choked on existential plastic in my quest for mythic initiation, the bird and the eaglet, gentle like doves, remodeled my deformed spiritual forms and gave me a new lease of life. One season after the last initiation ceremony, my Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. So when I get to the Buddha hills, I will pour palm wine from my calabash full of gratitude, a libation of appreciation, a libation to liberation. My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. Then down in Ife, there dwells the grandson of the wisdom goddess. Through years of saying truth with fearless voice, he has become the Oba of orature. He kneels in prayer every morning, urging the muse never to forsake his son. And when he sits in judgment in the Oval Office circling Ibadan's 7 hills, he speaks mercy and fairness to the downtrodden. My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. So when I get to Ife, I will prostrate in obeisance to the Oba of knowledge. At Erin Oke, I will drop an egg. I will drop an egg of appreciation and gratitude. My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. There is a mother who mows with masterful hands. A sacrificial knees supplicate for your success. When I reach Atabam, I will embrace the mother of the road. I will spread the wrapper of gratitude for her to walk on. My Viva was a success. I sang like the muse. My Viva was a success. I offer praises to God. Alright, so if you're joining me at the moment, please just know that I am having my first live on this page, and I'm using the opportunity to read some of my poems taken from the collection Afro Rococo, published in 2022. And in the course of the reading, I also played the song by Peter Eyoh entitled Young Table Field Tube, which I think resonates with what we are going through at the moment, and the fact that we are expecting elections in a few days, just to help people get into the mood of thinking about how to solve society's problem, probably with their votes, or getting the leaders to act right, in order to get Nigerians out of the suffering that we're all going through at the moment. And I just have one more poem to read before I bring this live to an end, and the poem is Afro Gothic. I would like to read because it in a way suggests the title of the collection, Afro Rococo. Okay, but Gothic, of course, is an imaginative writing that tends to bring fear and horror to those who love them. And so that is exactly what you experience when you read Afro Gothic. It's a bit scary on a scale, I suppose. I am the shadow that walks after dark, and the candle flickers in the whistling wind. I am the silence that creeps in the ghostly room, shortly after the pendulum clock strikes 12 to announce midnight. The world echo sees me and nods in acknowledgement, while you slumber on your mat of dreaded nightmares. I swim in your bathwater and fish with your sponge. I travel through spider webs to hover over your soul. I grin and giggle as you struggle when pinned to your bed. A scratch here and there, you wake up with missing haze. You bed in agony, your beauty disfigured. You wonder who I am with curses and fear. I am the old man whom you insulted earlier at noon when you passed by the village square without greetings. So those are the poems that I've had to read today. Tokni Sans, thank you very much for watching my live. Welcome. If you have any comments, you could leave them. I'll read and respond in a while. So just